Hey everybody, it's Monday, and Duffy and I are sitting on the deck, and we've been discussing the church. We were reading together from the Psalms, and Duffy suggested that I read to you the middle portion of Psalm 130. You were right, Duffy, it's a good one. It starts like this: I hope, Lord. Everything in me is hoping and waiting for God's promise. My whole self, my whole soul, my whole inner being is waiting for my Lord. More than the night watch waits for morning, and more than the night waits for morning to rise. My soul right now is hoping that we can be back together soon, and I think we're headed that direction. I miss seeing your faces and hearing your voices. I miss being able to stand at the sacred desk and to preach. I miss being on the platform with my colleagues. I miss looking into your eyes as we talk. It's coming. It won't be long. I don't know exactly what everything will look like and what procedures will have to take place and what precautions we'll have to involve ourselves in. But it sounds like the world is opening back up just a bit. And we'll be careful. I've already told you in the last two videos we're going to be cautious. But I'd like for us to begin to build that sense of hope, to begin to ponder God's grace and what we'll be like when we're together. How are we changed in ourselves? What have we learned about who we are and what we need? Have we learned something about reaching out to one another and making friends with people through a whole variety of methods? Have you cooked something for a neighbor and texted someone you don't know? Start feeling the feelings you have maybe before a birthday or Christmas. Start building some excitement. For the psalm I read to you is part of a pilgrimage song. You've heard me say this in church a time or two. What happens in the pilgrimage song is they begin to sing as they're in their homes. Stephanie and I and Duffy would begin to sing this song, and as we stepped out, and you know there's church folks on our street, Eddie and Randall and Chris and Laura and Will and Lindsay and Kermit and Mary Ann, we'd start singing together as we walked along the way. And with each step and with each house we passed, another two voices or three or four would join with us. And before long we'd sound like a choir walking down through the square of a town. Before you know it, we'd be approaching the steps of the church and there'd be people joining us from other areas. If we were really acting like good Hebrew and Jewish church folk, we'd probably be dancing by this time. We might be skipping and singing and holding hands and waving our arms. We'd enter the church doors, not in silence, but in a sense of, wow, look, we're together again. There was a real feeling from the captivity forward that when the people of God met, it was a celebration not just of grace, not just of salvation, not just of blessing, but that we were together again. My soul hopes and waits. May you be praying for the sense of hope. What it'll be like to walk in the doors together and to celebrate that God is bringing us through this coronavirus. Why don't you start practicing singing? Why don't you start practicing while you walk? Why don't you prepare yourselves maybe to sing from your car into the doors of the church? And what if the truly reverent act was you walk in singing, skipping? Okay, some of us are a little too old for skipping. But I bet we can put a little pep in our step. It's Monday, and I'm getting excited to see you again. It's Monday, and Duffy and I, as we were sitting here talking about it, we're ready. And it's not yet, but it's like there's a present under the tree, and I'm excited to open it. Worship is closing in, and I'm excited to open worship again. It's Monday. Get your hope and your singing voice ready. It's coming. It's time. Wait for God's promise. Amen. Amen.